bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Thrilled to be part of your Tuesday afternoon. It's the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Joyce Woodman, Trent Hilliard, yours from the First United Bank studio. You'll continue to chime in however you'd like on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Big Huey says it's in Lubbock, where the grandparents live. Well, shout out to Austin Atala's grandparents, if you're listening. We want him to end up here. That'd be great. Also, shout out to got some cousins that were in town. Travis, Sherry, Tammy that are listening on the long drive back to Houston. Hey, y'all. This from the Yates Flooring Center chat line, Trent, says, where do we actually stand on the 5 for 5? These guys were eligible. Then I thought I saw that that's now been overturned and maybe they aren't eligible, but that's being challenged again. So the 5 for 5 is fully intact for anybody that was not in the 2022 class, so anybody beyond it. Then we've had several individual court cases, and I say individual, which isn't completely accurate. Right. Some of them are grouped together, but they're individual to a judge. So we've had several court cases that have granted either temporary restraining orders or injunctions. I'm not going to act like I understand the jargon that much, but they've granted eligibility to individuals or groups of individuals, like Darian Williams and Jamichael Stillwell, who were in the same case. The one that got overturned was a blanket ruling in the state of Colorado, which basically one judge said, I'm going to take this into my own hands, and made it completely legal for anybody in the 2022 class to be there. So anybody that was just playing or planning on playing under that rule is now ineligible, i.e. Donovan Atwell. So I know this is all probably clear as mud right now, but that's where we stand. So anybody that's gone to a judge and gotten their own injunction or ruling is eligible right now. Now what could happen, throw another wrinkle into it, is if a player if these rules are put in place by conferences, which will be interesting because it would be going against court rulings, which there are some legality things going on there where players may be able to sue against a conference, which will get into a whole new set of weeds. But if the SEC and the Big Ten decide we are not going to allow any players that have played for a professional organization, or they specify the NFL or the NBA, then that's where we could see a whole nother wrinkle to it. And that seems like that's what's happening today as we speak. The Big Ten is works on a rule, and the SEC is meeting on it right now. So I probably didn't clarify anything, but that's basically where we are right now.
So where does that put Atwell?
Right now it puts Atwell as ineligible. So before the week started, he's ineligible, but I would have told you my worry level is about a 1 on a scale of 1 to 10 because he's going to get eligible. Now it will be interesting if they're just making this about football, because there's, I think, more basketball players that are involved and that have been part of NBA organizations for a little bit. So if they make it just about football and we're just talking about the NFL here, then Atwell will still get eligible and be able to go. But if they are encompassing the NBA into the conversation, then Donovan Atwell, well, the Big 12 would have to make the rule as well, because I think they're making this conference by conference. If the Big 12 elected to make a rule, then Donovan Atwell probably won't end up playing at Texas Tech, and then he goes job hunting at the professional ranks. So very much in limbo with everything at the moment.
Now, Cassiano's not affected.
No, and
because he never went and played at an NFL camp.
Yeah,
anything.
I think he sought employment but never got it. So he's fortunate that way.
So he should be okay with
Yes.
whatever happens there. So
I believe that's the case.
okay.
I believe that is the case. All right, now shifting over to the season coming up. Brett McMurphy has posted his college football bowl projections for week 0. This used to be a thing that was like, oh, this is kind of cute. Comes out, fun to look at, see where your team's projected to be. Comes out a little past the halfway mark in the season. Then last year, I think it was, they started doing it really early in the season, and now we're doing it before the season even started. Week 0 bowl projections. I'm not going to sit here and read through all the Big 12 ones or tell you where they are. I'm just going to tell you where they've got the college football playoff teams, because that's where Texas Tech is.
Good. We don't want to be in the bowl projections.
We're not in the bowl projections. Well, there is a bowl
yes.
in the quarterfinals and semifinals. We'll take those bowls. You are projected, Trent, you being the Red Raiders, to play on December 18th or 19th as the number 5 seed in Lubbock, hosting number 12 UNLV.
Ah, perfect.
You taking that right now? If it's offered to you without
Yes.
knowing what's happened in the Big 12 championship or anything, you accept that?
Yes,
I do too.
because I would rather be one of those teams that host instead of a team that gets a bye.
Yeah.
And if you're the 5, especially because it doesn't, 5 and 4, you're going to be playing each other. So like last year where you're the 4 playing the 5 that got a game in, that got to host, that got momentum, that, wasn't as rusty. Yeah, sign me up for the 5 slot all day, every day.
I'm taking the 5, yep. In retrospect, seeing what happened last year, I'll take the 5, I'll take the 6. Those are the 2 spots. Because I think if you get the 6, you would be getting the worst of, and no one's bad here, but the worst of the power teams, typically. Last year it wouldn't have been that case.
Right, because we had
But in this
2
case,
groups.
it's got number 6 Miami hosting number 11 Washington. I'd be great in that position. If you're number 5 or number 6 hosting 11th ranked Washington in Lubbock, I'd have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, and that may be a better deal.
Could be.
To be the 6, and then you're not in the number 1 path.
Yeah.
That puts you over there and playing the number 2 team, and so
it might be.
And it'd be a little more exciting to host another Power 4 team than a UNLV. Although once you get to that point, you just want to win and move on. So, but yeah, it would definitely be a little more exciting, I think.
So he's got number 9 Oklahoma at number 8 Texas.
Oh, wow.
That would be amazing.
Wow.
Come on, committee.
So they would finally get to host.
I think it's happened one other
them
time.
on campus.
Maybe twice. Yeah.
Huh.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
And that's where the beauty of this thing, lies, that something like that can happen.
Right, yeah.
Or that you could force a matchup between Texas Tech and Texas. Or whatever it looks like. Number 10, BYU at number 7, Indiana. He's got 2 Big 12 teams in the playoff.
Okay.
So moving down to...
It'd be interesting to see how he got to that.
I think there's 2 routes to get there. I think if BYU plays a close game against Notre Dame and then their only other loss is a semi-close game to Texas Tech, if you've got 2 losses to what would be considered top 5-ish teams.
Right.
Except Notre Dame. Yeah, he does have Notre Dame as the number 4 team here, by the way. You got 2 losses to that. Then that's where you would end up. I think BYU could get in on that route. But the other one is obviously winning the Big 12 championship. If Texas Tech was undefeated and then they get beat by a BYU, then I think both teams get in that way.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the other route to get 2 teams in the Big 12 championship. I
don't think we would be the number 5.
I think you would be, if you're 12-0, just based off of what happened with TCU a few years ago. Remember, TCU was undefeated and lost in the Big 12 to K-State.
Right.
They ended up still landing as the number 3 seed in the 4-team playoff. I don't think you're going to get penalized too much for losing only a conference championship game.
Yeah, maybe not.
So I think you would still host, but it may be closer to the 8 seed than the 5 seed.
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
He's Trent Hilliard. I'm Choice Woodman. This is the Bottom Line on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Happy to be part of your Tuesday afternoon. Y'all keep your thoughts coming in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. We'll read a few here shortly. Thanks for joining us in the lunch hour today. Okay, Trent, we were going over the on 3 Brett McMurphy bowl projections for week 0. He had Texas Tech number 5 hosting number 12 UNLV in the first round. He has Texas Tech moving on to win the game. The quarterfinals feature number 2 Oregon against number 7 Indiana in the Fiesta Bowl.
Okay.
All right. That would be a fun matchup. Number 1 Ohio State against number 8 Texas in the Rose Bowl. That would be a juicy matchup. Man, people would love that.
There's a lot of rematches going on there.
The Peach Bowl with Georgia and Miami, 3 versus 6. And 4th seeded Notre Dame against 5th seeded Texas Tech in the Cotton Bowl.
Okay.
That would be a favorable location for the Red Raiders.
It would.
I mean, Notre Dame fans are going to travel anywhere, but
yeah.
But Texas Tech fans would show up very well to the Cotton Bowl to play Notre Dame. He has Texas Tech as the only lower seed winning out of that group.
All right.
So Brett McMurphy has Tech advancing not only to win 2 college football playoff games, but advancing a step further than last year into the semifinals. Orange Bowl is Oregon and Georgia, 2 versus 3, and Tech in the Sugar Bowl against number 1 Ohio State, where he's got the Red Raiders losing. I want to always roll the dice and try to win a national championship, but I'd be pretty pleased if you're finishing your season there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Getting all the way to the Sugar Bowl and playing Ohio State. Man, what? I'll absolutely take hosting UNLV if that means you're playing Notre Dame and Ohio State on the other side of it.
Man, how much fun.
And beating Notre Dame.
How much fun would that be?
The possibilities. Tickles my innards.
And I'm still I hear a lot of, it'd be so disappointing if we just, the minimum expectations, win the conference championship and advance to the semis or whatever. I'm still like, if we can get, if one of the top 12 teams and get to go, we're good. That's another great season. We'll see what happens from there.
If you repeat what happened last year,
yeah,
you lose a game, win the Big 12, and lose in the semifinals. Hopefully you score some points.
Yeah, look a little better.
Lose in the quarterfinals, whatever bowl that would end up being. I'd take it right now with your sophomore quarterback, with your situation. I'm not saying I'd take it. I'm always rolling the dice to win a national championship because if you're that close, it's a possibility. But, man, I would say there's no way it's a disappointment.
No.
We're not – we Texas Tech fans are not in a position to say, a Big 12 championship is not good enough. Not yet.
No.
You've got one in 30 years. We've got one in whatever it is, 28 years. Conference started in 96. No, it's 30 years. One in 30 years.
Yeah.
So if you do what you did last year, it is still a successful season. It didn't feel that great on the finish. It was a thud of a finish last year. But zooming out to the macro level, absolutely a successful season last year, and it would be again this year. every team in college football is left wanting more except for one.
Yep.
So that's how it will be once again this year. Unless you're the one that's hoisting that final trophy, no matter where it comes to a stop, it's going to feel disappointing. Just the nature of sports.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right.
We've been there in basketball, and it was so close. It was so,
It still leaves you wanting.
But yeah.
It's how it is. This from the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Michael asks, who are y'all's pro comps for our running backs? Here's mine. Cam Dickey, James Conner. That's a good one. Jacoby, Darren Sproles, or his shorter CJ 2K. Okay. And then Quentin Joyner, Lindale White, or Marshawn. Michael, I'm probably not going to give any better than you gave. I'll have to think on that a little bit. I think those are all solid comps for those backs. I think what's good about all three of your running backs is while they all probably have tendencies to where you can label them, they are all three well-rounded backs. It's not like you've got just a goal line back only or
right.
Or I mean, Cam Dickey would be considered your power back, but he also broke off 2 plays of 70 yards last year.
Exactly.
Power backs don't typically do that.
No.
Jacoby Williams is considered your shifty guy, your juke him in a phone booth type of guy, but he can run people over. I mean, I was shocked at how much we saw him challenge guys and break tackles last year. And they said he's pound for pound the strongest player on the team last year. So, and we haven't got a look at Quentin Joyner, but he averaged 7 yards a carry at USC.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's exciting to have 3 guys of that caliber, and it'll be exciting to see what all we do to get them the ball, get them into space, do some things. One of the frustrating things I had for years was it was like all of our run plays were just up the middle.
Yeah.
We never ran just a sweep or something. Just hey, let's get out on the edge and see if we can just outrace some guys or let them pick their holes a little bit. So I think that we're going to do some things that may not look like a sweep, but little quick swing passes or stuff to get Jacoby out there and just release. Sometimes you got to do that just because those pass rush, those guys are coming in so hard on the ends.
Right.
I just float it out there to them, and now make a linebacker have to go make a play, and that's defensively that's where we're so good. Our linebackers will go make those plays, but most people don't have 3 linebackers that can cover like we do.
No doubt. Michael says, can we please host LSU, Oregon, Texas, A&M? All the people that have ducked and took jabs at us with real playoff hopes. I wouldn't say Oregon's in the bunch with that other one because they actually played here a few years ago. But, it'd be great to be able to host that. I'll take whatever it is. You get to host a game in Lubbock, Texas that will be literally going into it the most important game you've ever had in Lubbock, Texas. I'm taking it.
So would your worst situation be like we're a 9, 10, 11 seed and have to go to A&M or to UT?
Yeah, I would not prefer that at all.
Yeah, I'd say that's the worst. I'd rather go, let's travel to Ohio State or Indiana or Oregon or somewhere if we're there.
I don't know. If it was A&M, I think you could win that game.
Yeah.
You've won in that building.
Oh, yeah.
Plenty of times in my lifetime, and I also don't think this A&M team is that daunting. But we got a whole season to find out.
Yeah.
Some texter says, or BYU beats Notre Dame and loses to Tech in the Big 12 championship game. I was kind of saying that as understood, but yes. No, Notre Dame, I'm saying a 2-loss Notre Dame team getting into the playoff would have to be the Notre Dame loss. Sorry, BYU team would have to be the Notre Dame loss and a Tech loss if it was a 2-loss team. But if both teams are undefeated, if you have 2 12-0 teams in the Big 12 championship, I can't picture a scenario that both aren't getting in.
Right. Yeah.
I think both have a pretty good shot at being a top 8 seed and hosting.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're both sitting at that, But then Notre Dame's got you go, okay, they've got to be knocked down because they will have a loss to BYU and a probable loss to Miami.
Probably.
And
if they
so,
lose that one.
how do you get in?
Miami?
Because what's
or is it?
Yes, I think so. No, they're at home.
Because
they're at Notre Dame.
The BYU one's
that's the only one because Notre Dame hosts, I think, Miami and SMU are their only other really tough ones this year.
That's right. Bobby Hot Dog says, incorrect. Notre Dame fans do not travel well. Most do not travel anywhere because their bandwagon fans already there. Rudy sucks. Touche, Bobby. Touche. You're right.
That's true.
They would just be
the
here.
The T-shirt fans are out for them.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
You know, I told you yesterday that was the last blind projections, and it was. But giving you the final update from our blind projections, we've got our overall standings for the group and for each of us. These are our official predictions for the bottom line for the 2026 football season in the Big 12. He's Jamie, I'm Choice, Lucas across the way. Now, the producer standings are scattered because it wasn't all Lucas. I think we had 8 different bodies pick over there at some point. So Lucas had a big effect, though, on who the dead last team is in the producer standings.
Okay.
So overall, we have Texas Tech at 12-0 playing BYU at 11-1. Both teams going 9-0 in Big 12 play in our overall standings. That is our rematch in the Big 12 championship. We also have five total teams. What was that sound? 5 total teams that have 10 wins or more in the Big 12.
Very top heavy.
I think that would be very good for your conference if that happens.
Maybe so. That would probably mean you'd have 5 teams ranked.
I would think so. If you got 5 teams that are 10-2, I would guess, or better, you've got 5 teams ranked. So that's Arizona, Utah, and Houston all going 10-2 and 7-2 in the league. That's how we had it.
Okay.
And Arizona State was next at 6-3. We have 3 teams at 5-4: TCU, Kansas State, and Oklahoma State, with TCU being 8-4 overall. The other 2 7-5. And that's it for bowl teams for our group. 9 bowl teams out of 16.
Just not a horrible number.
That's not horrible. It's more than half your league. UCF.
Math checks out.
UCF and Baylor. UCF was 4-5 in our picks, 3-6 for Baylor. West Virginia and Colorado we had at 2-7, 4-8 overall. Cincinnati also 4-8, but we had them 1-8. Iowa State 3-9 and 1-8, and Kansas, as our group, picked 2-10 and 0-9. I'm rooting for that.
I'm not feeling bad for any of those teams missing out on the
Cincinnati, Iowa State, and Kansas. Did we let our emotions get in the way of our picks there? It's not like they were expected to be good teams, but those are our bottom 3, Cincinnati, Iowa State, and Kansas, and they all may have negative ties towards Texas Tech in the offseason.
We're going to all enjoy watching them struggle.
It won't hurt my feelings. So, Jamie was the highest on Utah of the group. You had them 3rd.
Let's go Utes.
At 7-2, 10-2 overall. I was the only one that picked 2 12-0 teams, which is pretty unlikely to happen, but could happen. Could happen. All of us picked Kansas to go 0-9 in conference play, but Lucas is the only person that picked someone even lower than Kansas with a 1-11 record. The Colorado Buffaloes. I actually think it is possible that could happen if things just completely unraveled.
And what's your Buffalo beef?
Oh, that sounds good.
Well, it was Caden Salter.
Oh, okay.
Left Liberty.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, I think if Colorado loses those 2 games in the non-con to Georgia Tech and Northwestern, I do think there's a good chance it unravels from there, and that
possibly
they lose their coach, probably him leaving some point in the season, and it just kind of goes awry. We'll see. But I also think they're a team that could make a bowl game this year. Jamie was the only one that picked Colorado to make a bowl game. You had them 6-6. I was the highest on Kansas State of anybody. I had them with a 9-3 overall record and 7-2 in Big 12 play.
Who was that?
K-State.
K-State.
I'm the highest on K-State of anybody.
You've always wanted that Avery Johnson air.
I think, Jamie, I just am more pro K-State just by being around Jayhawks in general. I think that's really a byproduct.
Can't imagine why.
Jamie loves the other purple. He was the highest on TCU of anybody else.
What is going on there?
9-3 and 6-3 is what you have the Horny Toads.
I have more purple clothes in my closet now than I've ever had in my life.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Like, why didn't you just go with the neutral colors? You could have wore some grays and some blacks with it, or take the gold. Like, just wear the yellow.
Sometimes you just got to lean into it, Joyce.
It seems like you have. And then I was the highest on West Virginia, which is only because Lucas wasn't picking that day. Because he would have had them much higher. But
What did you have them at?
I had them 6-6. I'm the only one that has them.
Do you have them that high, Lucas?
Realistically, I do have them 6-6.
Right. I think that's probably their
Yeah.
ceiling. I don't know that they're going anything beyond that.
And as long as they beat UVA, it's a win.
So, somewhat boring
Then
if
they
you're.
can play their stupid song and fire their silly little pop gun.
Silly little pop gun. Could be a horse name. So these are, it's somewhat boring if you're wanting something other than Texas Tech and BYU. I do think if
That's not boring to me. As long as Texas Tech's in it, it's not boring.
Very much so. Very much so. I do think if the league does have what we've predicted collectively, 5 teams that have 10 wins, that helps the overall perception of your league. Helps.
Yeah.
The biggest thing to help your overall perception of your league is if Arizona State beats A&M and if Notre Dame beats, if BYU beats Notre Dame.
Is it possible for 3 teams to be 12-0?
I think the math.
Or
we've looked at
9-0 in Big 12 play?
We've looked at this, and I think the math checks out for. I think it would have to be. Man, there is. Yes, it is.
I'm trying to wonder,
I'm trying to remember
is there a
which
crazy
teams.
scenario that could keep the Red Raiders out if they're undefeated?
So I'm looking at the top teams, and I think it's K-State. I believe K-State's the one that could be the third one of either the combination of Texas Tech, BYU, and K-State, or maybe it's Houston, BYU, and K-State. But I believe that's it. I have found it. There was a third team because, and mathematically, yes, you could get, I think, as many as 4 teams that go 12-0 based off of schedules.
Right.
Go 9-0 or whatever based off of schedules. But of the teams that would actually threaten to do it, I think K-State's the closest in that bunch. K-State would have to beat Houston. They play Arizona. So, yes, K-State doesn't play BYU or Texas Tech. So that's if you're looking at that,
Yeah.
that's how it would have to happen.
What a nice schedule for them.
Yeah. That's really why I'm higher
Texas
on them.
Tech also does not play Texas Tech or BYU.
That
so
is
nice schedule for them.
And accuracy.
Mm-hmm.
What is I think Utah might also be in that same boat where it would be Tech, Utah, and K-State.
I was going to say Utah gets BYU. So
I think they're the only one. But, yeah, like Utah obviously can't do it with – I think – and then Houston might be somewhere in the mix on those two. So I think there's a few combinations you could find your way to 3, but I think one of them would probably have to be K-State.
I wonder how deep into the
For it to happen.
season my sudden love for Utah is going to go away.
Oh, I bet it's going to be – if we played them, it would be instantaneous.
Oh, of course.
But the fact that we don't play them this year, I bet it can last a little bit.
Okay.
I'm surprised that you're
I'm going to feel bad rooting for them against BYU
I was
just
about to say,
because I always like
I'm surprised your personal biases don't play into this more, Jamie. I mean, you are on the morning drive. I thought that's how you pick everything. You guys pick everything is how it affects you. But Utah, I mean, was there a worse situation in the radio booth in Utah? I know you've got a few bad ones, but
that one was pretty bad.
That's what I'm saying. I'm surprised that
yeah.
you're still loving on Utah after
It's true.
after that mess.
Bringing you the truth, or something like the truth. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Let's get to our question.
Time now for Jamie's question of the day on 100.7 The Score. Brought to you by someone not named Jamie and presented by Connecticut of West Texas. Life's hard, your water shouldn't be.
All right, this is going to be a two-part question, Jamie. But I'll just ask the first question up front. We're going to exclude Will Hammond from our answer. Okay?
Yes, sir.
I want you to tell me, so we've talked a lot about the depth of this football team. I want you to tell me who you think is the most important player to keep away from injury this season for Texas Tech football. Who's the guy that we need to avoid injury the most, not named Will Hammond? And then the second part you can start thinking about will be who was that person last year? Like, who was your most important player on last year's roster? Because I think there's a number you could have picked from.
Oh, man. So obviously Will Hammond's the easy answer.
It's
right
the
here,
easy
right?
answer because you don't know what you've got behind him. Like, if I don't even know if Brendan Sorsby would have been an absolute answer had he been here, because you would have expected to have Will Hammond, but it probably still would have been the number one answer, but not as strong, I think, as it would be Will Hammond right now. Before we know anything about Tommy Castellanos.
Sheridan Wilson would be high on my list.
That's a good one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Terrence Carter Jr. would be high on my list.
Yep.
Man. AJ Holmes would be high on my list, but I feel like there's other guys at that position.
Sure.
To me, the tight end is like a great tight end is like a cherry on the sundae. It's great. It adds to it, but you don't like. As long as you got the ice cream, you're good. Okay.
Do you eat the cherry?
No.
Okay. I was like,
Yeah.
I didn't even think you would be the
Yeah, I don't like
cherry
cherries.
guy. I actually think I get pretty ticked off if I'm going to a ice cream joint and I get a literal sundae and they forget the cherry.
Okay.
So I think it's a pretty important part to the sundae.
Don't let me get you off track here, Joyce.
They can leave the nuts off, though.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Sheridan Wilson.
Okay. I think that's a really good answer.
I think he's a veteran on that O-line. I think he's the quarterback of the offensive line. I just think he's.
Why'd you say it like that?
Well, I mean, it's a boring saying
It's a
that everybody
buzz-
says. Yeah,
buzz
so
phrase,
I try
yeah.
to avoid saying things that everybody else says.
Cliches.
So, but I think Wilson, super important. Lots of starts, leader up front. Clearly, Will Hammond, comfortable with him. You don't want him having to, deal with a different center, all that good stuff. So I'm with Sheridan Wilson.
I like your answer.
Thank you, Choice. It's very kind of you.
Lucas? That felt sarcastic, though.
My player is also on the offensive line. Harold Sampson. Blind side, left tackle, protecting Will's blind side. Just looking at the depth chart.
And right now, you got a true freshman behind him.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, the depth chart has Felix Ojo
Yeah,
right
that's
behind him. Not saying that Felix is not the guy, but definitely Howard Sampson is definitely one guy that Texas Tech cannot afford to get hurt.
Okay, I think Lucas wins this take versus take question.
I like them both. I think the offensive line is still where you've had some questions. Some. I think you improved last year. I don't think there's not that many top 10 offenses out there that don't have at least a good offensive line. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it was amazing or fantastic, but it was solid for you a season ago. I think I like the offensive line answers. I really considered Terrence Carter as well because just a playmaking. It's not just a good tight end. We're talking about
elite.
Yes, All-American tight end.
Yep.
You lose him, it changes how your offense operates, in my opinion. So I think you're going to make him a very integral part of your offense this year.
We keep hearing a lot of positive things about Jack Carpenter.
Yes, we do. And I think he's going to be a big part. I think you're going to run a lot of two tight end sets out there this year. So I wanted to say that, but I keep coming back to something you just don't have that much and that are hard to come by, and that's a lockdown corner in Bryce Pollock. I mean, lockdown corners are a dime a dozen. It is. There's your cliche. It's hard to find them, and when you get one,
I think that's the wrong use of the term.
are not a dime a dozen.
There you go.
I said that backwards.
Okay.
Thank you. Not a dime a dozen.
Okay.
They are. Yeah. I just killed my whole point with that.
Well, you said it right the first time. They're hard to come by.
There we go. Should have just stuck with that.
Yeah.
I was trying to hunt for a cliche just to joke with you, and then I botched it. Anyway, Bryce Pollock.
They are a needle in a haystack.
I think if
they're a diamond in the rough.
There we go. Could have picked any of those good ones. I think when you're looking at position groups defensively, if you're layering it into 3 full layers, not going just corners, safeties, that if you're going defensive line, linebackers, and secondary, you're the weakest in the secondary going into the season.
Yeah.
And he is, of course, your best player in the secondary and another All-American. If you lose him, then you're having to rely on less experience. And right now, he kind of helps you shut down one side of the field. So your defense is just automatically worse if Bryce Pollock goes off the field. How much worse? I don't know. Hopefully not that much, but he's the one I would not want to lose.
I don't think Sheridan Wilson was a wrong answer, but I think your answers, both of you two, are more righter than mine.
More righter than yours.
Yeah, I think Bryce Pollock is good because you are looking for guys that are ball hawks, that are playmakers on the defensive side of the ball, and he is that. And he can take a top receiver and just make him a less of a factor, so to speak. And so I think that's a really good answer too.
So I do like your Sheridan Wilson answer, though.
Yeah, I don't hate it either.
Because the center he should be underrated. You don't even want to think about the center.
Mm-hmm.
He's a guy that, according to the Pro Football Focus, has never given up a sack.
Yeah.
He's never given up a sack. That's a crazy stat.
What about Stone Harrington?
Oh, man.
I considered him.
I don't know what
I
you
did.
have after him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, truthfully, and you don't really ever want to know.
Don't want to know.
So, yeah, I think that's another pretty big one. Again, if you're just joining, we eliminated Will Hammond because that is the answer, but there's quite a few of these where it's like, I don't want to find out what happens if this guy gets hurt. Y'all can, I like this one. Lockdown corners are as rare as a hen's teeth. I might start using that one. All right, more from you on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. You can answer that question. Who's the player you least want to lose to injury, not named Will Hammond, in the 2026 season?
Getting to the point, but taking the scenic route to get there. This is the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score.
It's a Tuesday afternoon on the Bottom Line. 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 Score app. It's with me, Jamie Lynch, yours from the First United Bank studio. Keep the thoughts and comments coming in there. We'll get to a few of them here in just a moment. But first, let's get to Tell Me I'm Wrong Para Jamie. Is
All
he
right.
Okay.
I'm afraid to say this one with Choice in the room
Do I need to go earmuffs?
because of how he's going to answer or how he's going to take this statement of mine.
Oh,
Okay.
boy.
I'm going to ask you to be above the age of 12 today, Choice.
Oh, man.
Okay?
Fine.
All right, here we go. You ready?
Let's do it.
They say that anytime you do something the first time, it's never as good after that. Winning the Big 12 in football in 2025 was awesome. Winning the Big 12 in football in 2026 will be even better as a
Ooh.
Texas Tech football fan.
That's a great one. This is one of your best ever, Jamie. Because I think you're right. I think you're right. And I don't subscribe to that particular statement, by the way. I think it applies some, but it's not a good blanket statement. I think there are times where things get better. And this particular one, because of the circumstances this year, and because of how good it'll feel to stick it to the rest of the Big 12 after they all 15-1 to you and hated on you this offseason, I think you are completely right that this one will feel even better than the first one. It'll feel different because there's nothing like the first time, but I think I will enjoy this one even more than I did in December of last year. Lucas?
I just completely agree with Joyce said. I think it will be better because trying to stick it to the national media and stick it to everybody that says about the money and all the Sorsby situation that went on, I think winning this Big 12 title again in December is definitely going to be a stick it to everybody that said that it was a one-time thing.
There's animosity, right, from all of us towards them. Right?
Yeah.
Towards all the other fan bases, towards all the other, ADs.
I would say
and,
justified
programs
animosity.
and all of that. So there's emotion behind it more than just we want to be the best for the first time ever.
Right.
Right? There's we want to be the best and we want you to feel pain. Not literal pain, just disappointment pain, right?
Yes.
And so because of that, and I don't think it's just the Big 12 championship game choice. It obviously, hits a crescendo there at the Big 12 championship game.
I agree.
But I think through the course of the season, every time you put it on someone from the conference, it's going to feel really, really good.
Yes, there's certain games that'll feel even better.
Yeah.
There are certain games. If you beat Cincinnati 66-0, heck, if you beat them by 30 on their home field, whatever that looks like, that one's going to feel good. If you put it on TCU on your way to the Big 12 championship game, I'm going to really enjoy that, even more than a normal beating of TCU.
Yeah.
There are certain games where it's just going to be more tasty. So, yeah, I think that's a great one because I hadn't really thought of it. And I do think you can already, I feel like Chuck saying this. Do you think you should call someone over at Tech and go ahead and get the music ready for when they're presenting the trophy? We can do Foreigners Feels Like the First Time. Play that over the speakers. But there's nothing like the first one, but I still think it can feel even better under different circumstances. And this one, it won't just feel like, second championship in a row. Be like, you overcame a lot of gunk this offseason to get there. And you should be there. Justified Animosity, horse name. Okay. Put that one down.
It's a good one.
That is a good one. Shifting gears on you, Jamie. When's the last time you drove a stick?
I learned to drive on a stick.
Was your truck?
No.
Oh, okay.
And haven't driven one since.
Really?
Yeah.
So how do you think you do right now?
Terrible.
You don't think you could keep it from from dying?
Probably not.
Okay.
That was a long
clutch
time ago
yeah.
choice.
The clutch just adds a whole extra element if you're not used to it. It's been a long time since I've driven a stick too, but I think I could handle it maybe. So, Jamie, the National Football League has paired up with Disney. Every NFL team has a Disney character drafted to them.
Oh yeah, I think I saw.
You saw this? This was announced.
I think I got an email ad.
Did you really?
Like buy a T-shirt with a big buffalo guy.
So this was announced at Fanatics Fest. Was this the one in New York? I'm looking at Lucas because he knows all these things. And how did this work? Did each team just get assigned this, or was it? It looks like it was drafted somehow, but I don't know how the draft went. Anyway, each team has a Disney character linked to it, and this will go with like some shirts and some gear you can buy that goes with it.
Yeah, the Bills got the Beauty and the Beast guy.
Do you like this one? I mean, he kind of looks like a buffalo.
Yeah, he does a little bit.
I think it fits.
Yeah, whatever.
I like the Chargers one. They did the right movie. They just did the wrong character.
Who was the Chargers?
They did Pegasus from Hercules.
Oh,
but
okay.
They should have done Zeus.
Yeah, Zeus would have fit a little bit better. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
With the lightning bolt. Don't understand. Kansas City Chiefs was Disney's Big Bad Wolf from the old Mickey Mouse cartoons.
Okay.
And I think that's in tie with their mascot, their unofficial mascot.
They have a wolf?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do have a wolf, which has always been kind of weird.
The Chiefs do?
Yeah, their mascot, I think it's their official mascot. They have if you look up the Chiefs mascot, it's a wolf.
I don't want to do that on the work computer.
They have two mascots, like one's the Chiefs and then Dallas Cowboys.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah, I know that. Sorry. Have you seen the Cowboys one?
Yes.
This one's got to be maybe the best fit of any of them.
Sure.
It is Woody from Toy Story. That one fits for a cowboy. Okay.
The Commanders one is Ham.
I like that one
from
too.
Toy Story for the pigs.
Oh, nice.
Because
yes.
the pigs thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
That fits very well. The Eagles. Okay, this is where I have issues. That just goes with the Eagles in general. No, my issues lie with, okay, what actually counts as Disney nowadays? Because I don't consider Star Wars or Marvel Disney, even though they're under Disney's umbrella now. So the Eagles were Marvel's Doctor Doom, which is a green character. So I guess that's the reason they went with it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know that I consider that Disney.
Like Green Bay was Chewbacca. Again, like they should have just stuck with everything like Disney-ish, not ventured out into Marvel. But at the same time, they're trying to sell a bunch of stuff.
Sure.
That's the whole purpose of this. The Atlanta Falcons was the Millennium Falcon for Star Wars. Okay. If you're going to go that way, it fits. I said Woody might be the best fit, but the Buccaneers had Captain Hook too. That's
really good.
As good of a fit. So Arizona Cardinals was Jafar and Iago from Aladdin. I don't know. There you go. Y'all can look it up online if you're a big Disney or NFL person. I think the dumbest one was the Browns. They do the dog pound
stop
thing.
with that right
We
there.
could just stop with that. Just the Browns. They do the whole dog pound thing. They chose Pluto. That is the I thought the dog thing was supposed to be intimidating. But I don't know. They'll probably sell stuff with it. They'll sell some t-shirts.
This has been the Bottom Line Podcast from 100.7 The Score. Go to 100-7thescore.com for more from the Double T Sports Network.